On a scale of infinity to infinity, how much do we love Jack Campbell? Welcome to From Center Ice. My name is Courtney, and there really is nothing like a Jack Eichel trade to bring me out of hiding. Okay, so I wasn't in hiding, but the last video I filmed was last week right before the interview with Kyle Beach and Rick Westhead was aired on TSN. And with the full Blackhawks report being released on Tuesday, that interview being aired on Wednesday, it just hasn't felt very good or hasn't been very fun to talk about actual hockey since then. But I've wanted to get back to it. It's a brand new week, and the Leafs have had two crazy games in a row, and Jack Campbell is absolutely on fire. The game before tonight's must have prompted the Vegas Golden Knights to go out and make a trade with the Buffalo Sabres to acquire Jack Eichel, because if you recall, the Toronto Maple Leafs shut out the Vegas Golden Knights. I know, they were in talks to acquire Eichel before that game happened, but it is a lot more fun to just think that the Maple Leafs made them pull that trigger. You know, it goes both ways between those teams, because they also had that save from Marc-Andre Fleury when he was with the Vegas Golden Knights that ended up getting Mike Babcock fired. I think they're secretly just very good friends, the Leafs and the Golden Knights, and they're really just trying to help each other out by handing them losses. Just as best friends do. But this video is not about the Vegas Golden Knights, even though yes, they did go out and acquire Jack Eichel this morning. This video is about the Toronto Maple Leafs, and as of late, the big guys have really stepped up. In that game against the Golden Knights, Mitch Marner had such a beautiful goal to kick off the scoring in that game. John Tavares had the puck. He got the puck to Mitch Marner, who was in front of the net. He just did a nice little spin and tucked the puck past Robin Lehner. Oh my goodness, it was so beautiful. And you could tell that one felt very nice for Mitch. And then in the second period of that game, the Toronto Maple Leafs got 2 goals from Austin Matthews. And to kick off the third period and to make it 4-0 in favor of Toronto, here comes William Nylander. I don't know if the numbers would back me up on this, but I feel like it has to be a pretty good omen when those 3 guys score in the same game. Or it's a little more fun than nobody scoring at all, like the Vegas Golden Knights did not against Jack Campbell. Because Jack Campbell is a god. And if you need any more proof of that, all you have to do is look at tonight's game when they took on the Tampa Bay Lightning. Sure, Patrick Maroon kicked off the scoring in the game 13 minutes and 16 seconds into the first period, but we are just going to ignore that part. Thankfully, the Leafs did match the Lightning in shots in the first period. Each team got 9 shots on goal. In the second period, there was no scoring, but the Leafs were pushing it a little more. They did outshoot the Tampa Bay Lightning 13-8. And in the third period, the Tampa Bay Lightning outshot the Leafs only by a total of 8-7, but they went for a stretch of around 12 minutes without getting a shot on goal. The Lightning, I mean. And then once they finally did get another shot on goal, they didn't stop getting grade A chances at the net. And Jack Campbell, oh my goodness. It's like his limbs weren't even attached to his body. They were just going in every different direction to make saves. It's like it wasn't a human controlling Jack Campbell's body in that moment. It was the god that is Jack Campbell. There's really no other way to describe it, because even though the Tampa Bay Lightning only got 8 shots on goal in the third period, I'm pretty sure every single one of those was a great shot or a great scoring chance. Travis Dermott helped out his goalie a bit. One of those pucks did hit him after Jack made the initial stop. And you look at the final shot totals, they were 34-25 in favor of the Toronto Maple Leafs. That's a very decent number to hold Tampa to. And they only gave them 1 power play throughout the game. Meanwhile, the Toronto Maple Leafs had a full 2-minute 5-on-3 2-man advantage, which they did nothing with while they were still trying to tie up the game. And then they had a power play in overtime. Because yes, this game went to overtime. Even though the Leafs were outshot in the third period, they scored the only goal of the period, and that goal came from the captain, John Tavares. Austin Matthews had the puck around his favorite spot near the faceoff dot. He got the puck down to Mitch Marner, who sent a beautiful pass over to John Tavares, who just sent a redirected puck right past Andrei Vasilevskiy. And I say redirected because it was so smooth, I don't even know if you would call that a shot. According to the NHL app, it counts it as a wrist shot, so we'll go with it was a shot, but wow, What a play from those three guys. And that goal came 19 minutes and 18 seconds into the third period. Even better, the Tampa Bay Lightning had control of the puck in their defensive zone. The Toronto net was empty. Victor Hedman, of all players, had the puck. All he had to do was clear it out. But he took a note out of the Leafs book, and you can't just simply clear the puck out of your defensive zone. No, you must turn that puck over, and that puck must then end up in the back of your net. I did not say it was a good book that he took this note from, because it's not, but it was good tonight because it worked out for the Maple Leafs. And everything about it was just beautiful. The Leafs had really good offensive pressure going. They weren't getting a whole lot of shots, really, since they got 7 shots total in the third period. But they had sustained offensive zone time. They were putting the pressure on, and eventually they got the bounce they needed. Hedman not being able to fully clear the puck out of the zone. And then just a beautiful play from Matthews to Marner to Tavares into the back of the net, and it beat Andrei Vasilevskiy, who looked like he could not be beaten tonight, and it was very annoying. But then he was beaten. So to overtime they went. And there wasn't a whole lot going on either way in overtime, but then once again, the captain, John Tavares, has the puck. And once again, Victor Hedman is defending him. But he takes that defending a little too far, and he takes a penalty. A slashing call against the captain, John Tavares. And to the box goes Victor Hedman, and if you are killing a penalty in overtime, the last player you want to have in the box is Victor Hedman. But too bad. So then the Leafs and all of Leafs Nation just has to hope that they come away with something better than they did in that full 2-minute two-man advantage that they had. Now, the Leafs had 5 shots in overtime. They were actually getting pucks to the net on the power play, which was nice to see. Maybe not as much as the Leafs fans in the arena wanted them to be shooting the puck, but they were getting the puck to the net. And then 2 minutes and 43 seconds into overtime, the big guys connect again. Marner to Matthews sends the puck over to William Nylander, and just with a laser, he puts that puck past Andrei Vasilevskiy, and the Leafs win in overtime. In a game where they could not beat Andrei Vasilevskiy until the last minute of the third period. Which brings us back to how freaking amazing is Jack Campbell. Because seriously, if you did not watch this game tonight, go back and just watch the third period of the game. I don't know how he did any of that, but he did, because he is wonderful, and he stole the Leafs 1 point, and then they got the 2nd point for him, and wow, what a game. The ending of that Leafs game was the most fun I have had watching hockey in a few weeks, so thank you very much, Leafs. I greatly appreciate that. It was certainly a great feeling to have, especially while I'm still trying to figure out how exactly to root for and talk about my Blackhawks while everything else is going on. But this is not a video about that terrible team. This is a video about the wonderful team in blue who won a fantastic game tonight because their goaltenders stole them a point, and then the big guys combined to get 2 goals for him, which is all that mattered to get the 2 points out of the game. And next up, they have the Boston Bruins! Don't you just love when the Leafs play the Bruins? Patrice Bergeron got 4 goals tonight, or at least 4. I don't think the game was over the last time I looked, so hopefully they don't let anything of that sort happen. That game is on Saturday, and here are the 3 questions I have for the Toronto Maple Leafs as they take on the Boston Bruins. Question 1. Will Wayne Simmonds get a goal? So until the third period of this game, the Leafs' 4th line was their best line once again, between Jason Spezza and Wayne Simmonds, and throw in Nick Ritchie there. They were doing everything they possibly could try to do to get that puck past Andrei Vasilevskiy. It just would not go. So since I am a fan of the Wayne train, I would love to see him rewarded for his effort tonight by getting a goal on Saturday against Boston. Question 2. Can the Leafs score first? So in the 2 games prior to tonight's game against the Lightning, they had scored the first goal. And that is great and all. Both of those games were wins for the Leafs. The one before that was also a win against the Chicago Blackhawks. And they did not score first tonight, and they also won. But they were chasing the game until the last minute of regulation, regulation, so if the Leafs could just score first and maybe score often and just keep a lead against the Bruins and let Jack Campbell, like, breathe a little bit in net, that would be great. Question 3. Will the Leafs get some shots to the net on the power play? So it's kind of funny question since, you know, in overtime on the power play, they scored to win the game, and like I said, they were getting shots toward the net. But one cannot so soon forget the 5-on-3 power play they had for 2 full minutes where nothing happened. So, since it is hard to really criticize a game where the Leafs won 2-1, and their goaltender was amazing, and the big guys stood up, and the fourth line was generating offense every time they were in the zone, I'm gonna go back to the old trusty and question the power play. So those are my 3 questions for Saturday night's game when the Toronto Maple Leafs take on the Boston Bruins. Do you have any questions heading into that game? Any questions about the team as a whole? Please leave them down in the comments. I would love to read them. And how did you feel during tonight's game? Were you on the edge of your seat? Were you enjoying the game? How'd you feel when it ended? Because man, those last few minutes of game time were just so fun. And it's just nice when hockey is fun. So that is all from me in this one. If you would like to hear more from me or from Center Ice, you can go on over to fromcenterice.com. There's links to all of the places where you can find us over there. If you are more of a social media person and would just like to follow us on those platforms, they are all linked for you down in the description. All of that being said, thank you so very much for tuning in. I'm sorry I took the last week off. I just needed it because I couldn't sit here and try to sell the fact that I was enjoying talking about hockey when I really wasn't. It would have been a waste of my time. It would have been a waste of your time. But man, that Leafs game tonight got me really jacked up, and I was really excited to come sit here and talk to you guys through the camera. I sat down basically right when the game ended, so here I am. It's certainly not your guys' fault that my other team is garbage. So again, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will catch you all after the next one. Bye guys.